As a woman leader on the global stage, Benazir Bhutto was charismatic and controversial. Twice, she was voted Prime Minister of Pakistan, the first woman to lead a Muslim-majority country. Twice, she was removed from office. Twice, she was exiled. Who was Benazir Bhutto, and how can we understand her legacy today? Benazir Bhutto was born in 1953 to a prominent Pakistani family. Her father, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, founded the Pakistan People's Party, a left-leaning group in favor of democratic reforms. Above all, the Pakistan People's Party opposed military and Islamic rule. This tension between secular and Islamic ideology has been at the heart of Pakistan's political instability since the country first gained independence in 1947, just 6 years before Benazir was born. At 16, Bhutto left her homeland to study at Harvard, where she balanced her patriotism with American culture, swapping her traditional Pakistani dresses for sweatshirts and jeans, and marching with her peers against the Vietnam War. Years later, Bhutto would credit her time at university, where she could protest without fear of retaliation, with igniting her passion for democracy. When Bhutto returned to Pakistan, the country was in turmoil. As the Cold War dragged on, Pakistan's allyship with the U.S. eroded. Bhutto's father, who had begun serving as prime minister while she was away in school, was ousted by a military coup and imprisoned, just days after her return. In 1979, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was executed on murder charges that are disputed to this day. Pakistan fell under martial law, and Bhutto and her family spent the next few years either in prison, under house arrest, or in exile in the United Kingdom. Despite everything, Bhutto continued the fight for democracy. After 2 years in exile, she returned home and rallied support for the Pakistan People's Party, running on a platform of food, clothing, and shelter for all. The party won a majority in parliament and chose Bhutto as prime minister in 1988, making her the first woman to lead a Muslim-majority country at 35 years old. Bhutto's rise as a moderate female leader was celebrated around the world, but her challenges were far from over. She struggled to deliver on campaign promises, was met with fierce pushback from conservative opponents and the still powerful military, and faced charges of corruption involving her husband, her cabinet, and a shady real estate deal. Bhutto was accused of being incompetent and crooked, and in 1990, she was removed from office. The corruption allegations against Bhutto were cleared in court, and in 1993, she was re-elected, starting her second term as prime minister. This time, she forged closer ties with the military. She attracted more economic investment from the U.S. She and her party worked to build schools, bring electricity to rural villages, appoint women judges, create all-female police stations, and form a human rights ministry. But Pakistan remained tumultuous. Its economy was unstable, its debts large, and Islamic fundamentalism was growing. Bhutto pushed for social reform, but faced constant opposition and managed to pass few measures. And once again, corruption charges emerged. Just before the trial, Bhutto left Pakistan and spent the next 8 years in exile in London and Dubai. Even in exile, while raising her children, Bhutto continued advocating for democracy in Pakistan. Then, in 2007, Pakistan's president, Pervez Musharraf, granted Bhutto amnesty, throwing out the corruption charges against her. She returned to Pakistan and the prospect of a power-sharing deal with Musharraf's military government. But Islamic militants disliked Bhutto's ties to the West and her support for the so-called War on Terror. At a parade honoring Bhutto's return, she narrowly survived a suicide bombing that killed nearly 140 people. Musharraf declared a state of emergency and placed Bhutto under house arrest. In turn, Bhutto called for Musharraf to resign and launched her own election campaign. And at a rally on December 27th, a second suicide bombing took place, this time killing Bhutto and 20 other people. Bhutto's assassination sent a wave of shock and mourning around the world. Civil unrest erupted in Pakistan as her supporters protested in the streets. And the Benazir Income Support Program was initiated in her honor, distributing cash to low-income families through the female head of household, encouraging women to get identity cards and bank accounts. Like many political icons, Benazir Bhutto left behind a complex legacy. By some, she is remembered as a champion for democracy and a trailblazer for women and girls, including activists like Malala Yousafzai. Yet Bhutto is also remembered for accusations of corruption and incompetence. What we can say for certain is twofold. Her influence on Pakistani politics endures, and no discussion of women's leadership is complete without her.